In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Asterisk asterisk, my dear brothers and sisters, my beloved Ummah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. There is a silent disease that is crippling our Ummah. It's not a physical illness, but a sickness of the heart and the mind. It steals our sleep, our peace, and our potential. This disease is asterisk asterisk overthinking. Asterisk asterisk, we lie awake at night, don't we? Replaying conversations, worrying about the future, agonizing over decisions, fearing the worst case scenario. We build mountains out of molehills and then find ourselves trapped at the bottom, unable to see the sky. We think and think and think until our faith becomes weak and our hearts become heavy. But I am here to tell you today with the utmost conviction, asterisk asterisk, stop it. Stop overthinking in the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. My dear brothers and sisters, if we are to truly understand the gravity of overthinking, we must first diagnose it correctly. We often dismiss it as a harmless habit, a mere tendency to worry a little too much. But I tell you, in the light of our Deen, overthinking is far more sinister. It is, in its essence, a disease of the heart. It is a form of self-inflicted torture, a spiritual paralysis that slowly and insidiously erodes the very foundations of our faith. Consider what happens when you overthink. A single thought, often a negative one, enters your mind. Perhaps it's a worry about a job, an anxiety about a relationship, a fear about your health or your future. Instead of acknowledging this thought and then letting it pass, you do something dangerous. You invite it in. You offer it a seat. You begin to entertain it, and before you know it, that one thought has multiplied. It has brought its family and friends. It has built a fortress in your mind. You are now trapped in a labyrinth of your own creation, running in circles, finding no exit. This, my friends, is not just mental exhaustion. This is a sickness of the asterisk kalb asterisk. The heart in our tradition is not just the physical organ that pumps blood. It is the seat of our intellect, our understanding, and most importantly, our asterisk, even asterisk, our faith. Allah speaks about the heart constantly in the Quran. He describes the hearts that are sealed, the hearts that are locked, the hearts that are hardened. How does this hardening begin? It begins with the constant barrage of negative, fearful, and anxious thoughts. Each cycle of overthinking is like a layer of rust settling upon the heart. At first, it's just a thin film, but if left unchecked, it accumulates, layer upon layer, until the heart becomes dull. It can no longer reflect the light of faith. It can no longer feel the tranquility of asterisk, sakina asterisk. It becomes heavy, burdened, and distant from its creator. This is the paralysis I speak of. When you are lost in overthinking, you are unable to make decisions for the sake of Allah. You are frozen. You want to start a business that is halal, but you overthink every possible failure until the opportunity vanishes. You want to get married, you find a righteous person, but you overthink every hypothetical scenario of incompatibility until the chance is lost. You want to contribute to your community, to do a simple act of charity, but you overthink what people will say, how it might look, until you do nothing at all. This is the paralysis of action. Overthinking convinces you that the risk is greater than the reward, that the potential fall is worse than the potential flight. It makes you a prisoner of what if, while the door of inshallah remains locked from the inside. And what is the ultimate result of this? It is the erosion of asterisk tawakkul asterisk, our complete and utter reliance upon Allah. Think about it. What are you doing when you overthink? You are essentially trying to control the uncontrollable. You are trying to solve a puzzle for which you do not have all the pieces. You are attempting to be the planner, when in reality, You are merely the actor following a divine script. The one who is alcoholic the creator, and al-Razak the provider, has already decreed your sustenance, your lifespan, your destiny. Your overthinking will not change a single letter of what has been written. It is as if you are standing on the shore, trying to command the waves with your own hands, instead of trusting that the one who created the ocean has also given you a ship and a compass. The ship of effort and the compass of faith. This self-torture is a trick of Shaitan. He cannot force you to commit a major sin, so he starts with something subtler. He whispers to you, he injects a thought of doubt, a seed of fear, and then he sits back and watches as you water that seed with your own anxiety, as you nurture it with your endless scenarios until it grows into a massive tree of despair, whose shadow darkens your entire life. You are doing his job for him. He only needs to plant the seed. You build the entire forest of worry yourself, and in that forest you feel alone. You feel that even Allah is distant. This is the greatest crime of overthinking. It creates a perceived distance between you and your Lord, when in reality he is closer to you than your jugular vein. So, my beloved brothers and sisters, we must recognize this disease for what it is. It is not a simple personality trait. It is a spiritual malady that weakens the heart, paralyzes the limbs, and corrodes our trust in Allah. The first step to curing any illness is to acknowledge its presence and to understand its danger. When you find yourself spiraling into that familiar abyss of repetitive negative thought, you must stop and declare with full consciousness, this is a disease, this is a waswasa from Shaitan, and I will not let it steal my peace and my faith. You must actively fight to protect the sanctity of your heart. Because a healthy heart is a heart that is connected to Allah, a heart that is content with His decree, a heart that knows with certainty that whatever happens by the permission of Allah is ultimately for its own good, even if the limited human mind cannot comprehend it in the moment. The cure begins with this recognition. Overthinking is not just thinking. It is a sickness that attacks the very core of our being as believers. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. My dear brothers and sisters, if we are to free ourselves from the shackles of overthinking, we must fundamentally reorient our understanding of the universe and our place within it. We operate under the grand illusion that our logic, our planning, and our analysis are the ultimate tools for navigating life. We sit with our limited human minds, trying to chart a perfect course from point A to point B, and we become devastated, confused, and anxious when life does not follow the map we have so meticulously drawn. But what we fail to comprehend, and what our faith demands we accept, is that Allah's plan is utterly perfect, while our logic is profoundly limited. We are like a small child who cries bitterly because his mother stops him from putting a metal object into an electrical socket. The child's logic cannot comprehend the danger. He only sees the denial of something he desires. The mother, with her superior knowledge and foresight, sees the catastrophe that awaits. Her prevention, though it causes temporary tears, is an act of profound love and protection. This, on an infinitely grander scale, is the dynamic between us and our Creator. Allah Himself tells us in the Quran, in a verse that should be a constant balm for our anxious hearts, it could be that you dislike something, yet it is good for you, and it could be that you like something, yet it is bad for you, and Allah knows while you do not know. Surah Al-Baqarah 2:116. Let this verse sink deep into the core of your being, and you do not know. This is not an insult to our intelligence. It is a divine fact, a reality of our creation. Our knowledge is inherently restricted. We can only perceive the immediate present and the shallow past. We cannot see the intricate web of cause and effect that spans a lifetime and beyond. We are like a person looking at the back of a magnificent tapestry. From our perspective, we see only a chaotic jumble of tangled threads, knots, and loose ends. It appears messy, confusing, and without any discernible pattern or beauty. We wonder why a certain dark thread was woven here, or why a bright one was cut short. But Allah is viewing the tapestry from the front. He sees the breathtaking, perfect, and complete masterpiece that every single thread, every joy, every sorrow, every closed door, every unexpected detour is contributing to. Your human logic is confined to the tangled view from the back. Divine wisdom oversees the glorious, final image. This is the context we must apply to every single closed door in our lives. That job you prayed for, prepared for, and felt you so desperately needed, the one you didn't get, your limited logic sees only failure and rejection. You overthink, was I not good enough? What did I do wrong? But Allah, in His perfect knowledge, sees the toxic environment you were saved from. He sees the project that would have consumed all your time and drawn you away from your family and your deen. He sees the financial collapse of the company that was waiting 6 months down the line. That closed door was not a rejection, it was a divine protection. That relationship that ended, which you thought was perfect for you, your heart breaks and you spiral into questions of why. But Allah, who knows the secrets of every heart, saw the lasting misery, the compromise of your faith, or the emotional turmoil that was destined for you had it continued. He was not depriving you, He was shielding you. Our problem is that we are trying to use a tiny, flickering candle to illuminate a vast, dark cave. We strain our eyes, we stumble, and we fear the shadows, all the while forgetting that Allah is the one who controls the sun. He can flood the entire cave with light in an instant, revealing a path we never knew existed, a path far safer and more beautiful than the one we were desperately trying to see with our feeble candle. Our overthinking is us clinging to that candle, refusing to trust that a greater light exists. We must have the courage to blow out the candle of our own limited understanding and place our trust in the everlasting light of our Lord. Reflect on the story of Musa, alayhi his salam, and Khidr, so beautifully detailed in Surah Al-Kahf. Musa, a great prophet, believed he had the knowledge and the logic to accompany and understand Khidr, but at every turn his logic failed him. He could not understand why Khidr scuttled a boat, why he killed a young boy, why he repaired a wall for an ungracious people. In his limited human perspective, these actions seemed destructive, illogical, and unjust. It was only at the end that the hidden divine wisdom was revealed. The boat was saved from seizure by a tyrannical king. The boy was spared from growing into a source of grief for his believing parents, and the wall protected a treasure for 2 orphan boys. What seemed like calamity was, in reality, a profound mercy. This is the story of our lives. We are Musa, constantly questioning why. And Allah is Al-Hakim, the All-Wise, orchestrating a plan of such perfection that our minds cannot grasp it until, perhaps, we are granted the vision to see it in the hereafter. Therefore, my beloved brothers and sisters, when you find yourself overthinking a disappointment, a failure, or an unanswered prayer, you must actively, consciously, and verbally reaffirm your faith. In this divine principle, say to your heart, my Lord sees what I cannot see, He knows what I do not know, my logic is limited, but His plan is perfect. This is not a passive resignation, it is an active and profound state of Tawakkul. It is the ultimate liberation from the tyranny of why. It allows you to trade your anxiety for a state of peaceful surrender, knowing with certainty that the one who is painting the masterpiece of your life is the most skilled, the most loving, and the most wise. Your job is not to question the artist's brushstrokes, but to trust in his vision and to play your part with faith and gratitude. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. My dear brothers and sisters, when faced with a trial, a setback, or any form of difficulty, our natural human inclination is to immediately ask one question, a question that often leads us deeper into the labyrinth of overthinking and despair. That question is, why? Why is this happening to me? Why now? What have I done to deserve this? We direct this question to the heavens, to the universe, and to ourselves, and in doing so, we place ourselves at the very center of a storm of our own making. We become the hero of a tragedy, the victim of an unseen plot. But what if I told you that this single question, why, is the very fuel for the fire of anxiety? And what if there was another question, a more powerful and transformative one, that could not only extinguish that fire, but could also illuminate a path toward growth, wisdom, and profound inner peace? This is the shift we must make in our hearts and minds, the shift from the disempowering why to the enlightening inquiry, Allah, what are you teaching me through this? The question why is inherently backward, looking and self-focused. It traps us in a cycle of seeking blame, either blaming ourselves, which leads to guilt and shame, or blaming others, which leads to resentment and anger, or even, in our weakest moments, feeling a subtle sense of injustice towards the decree of Allah. It forces us to dig a hole in the past, searching for a root cause that we may never find, and in the process, we bury ourselves in the dirt of our own regrets and frustrations. This question assumes that life should be a smooth, linear path, and that any obstacle is a deviation from that path, a mistake that needs to be explained. But this is a flawed premise. The Quran and the life of our beloved Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, teach us that life is, by its very nature, a test. Allah says, asterisk, 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 do the people think that they will be left to say, we believe and they will not be tried? Asterisk, 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 Surah Al-Ankabut 29:2. The tests are not a sign of Allah's displeasure. They are the very curriculum of this worldly school. They are not interruptions to our life, they are part of the lesson plan. When you shift your question to what is Allah teaching me, you perform a profound spiritual pivot. You stop being a passive victim of circumstances and become an active, seeking student of divine wisdom. You lift your gaze from the mud at your feet and begin to look for the lessons written on the horizons and within your own soul. This question is forward, looking and growth-oriented. It acknowledges the test, but seeks the benefit within it. It recognizes that the All-Wise does not decree anything without a profound purpose, and it is our sacred duty to seek out that purpose with humility and hope. This single shift in perspective can transform a burden into a blessing. That period of financial difficulty is no longer just a time of scarcity. It becomes a lesson in gratitude for what you had, a masterclass in resourcefulness, a reminder of the impermanence of this world, and a forced purification of your reliance on Allah instead of your wealth. That illness is no longer just a source of pain and weakness. It becomes a stark reminder of your own fragility, a means of expiation of your sins, a lesson in patience that strengthens your spirit in ways prosperity never could, and an opportunity to draw closer to the one who is the true healer. Consider the story of Job alayhis salam. His was a test of immense proportion, affecting his health, his wealth, and his family. Imagine if he had spent his days asking, "Why me, O Allah? I am your righteous servant. His story would be one of tragedy, but his response was the epitome of this transformative question. In his immense patience and faith, he was essentially seeking the lesson, the closeness to Allah, the purification that such a trial could bring. And his ultimate reward from Allah was a testament to this attitude. His trial was not a punishment, it was an elevation of his status for all of humanity to witness. When you ask, "What can I learn?" you are following in the footsteps of the prophets and the righteous. You are saying, "My Lord, I may not understand your wisdom, but I trust in it. I believe that there is a gem of knowledge, a strengthening of faith, a purification of my heart hidden within this situation, and I am determined to find it." This is how we change the narrative of our lives. The closed door is no longer a final, frustrating dead end. It is a lesson in trust, redirecting you to a better path. The difficult person in your life is no longer just a source of annoyance. They are your teacher in patience, forgiveness, and controlling your anger. The failure of a plan is no longer a mark of your incompetence. It is a lesson in humility, a reminder that success comes only from Allah, and a redirecting of your efforts toward a more suitable endeavor. This mindset does not negate the pain or the difficulty. Patience, sabr, is still required. The tears may still flow, but alongside the pain there is now a purpose. There is a light of meaning that pierces through the darkness of confusion. You are no longer lost in the storm. You are a sailor learning to navigate by the stars of divine guidance. So, my beloved brothers and sisters, the next time a trial descends upon you, before you let the why take root in your heart, consciously, deliberately, and with firm faith, replace it with, "My Lord, what are you teaching me? What goodness have you hidden for me in this? What part of my soul are you polishing through this difficulty?" This is the key that unlocks the treasure chest of wisdom hidden within every single test, transforming you from a prisoner of your circumstances into a student of the divine.